fly like a cruiser with another What Happened on My Universe mode! Yes, 205 Live is back for another edition. Hailing from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the show opened with Noam Dar facing off against the man he attacked on the last edition of 205 Live, Cedric Alexander, and it was going to be an Extreme Rules match. Noam Dar had the early going in this one, hitting a crucifix and then a weird slam where he held onto his wrist and then finished it with an elbow to his wrist. After that he went and locked in a submission, but instead of tapping out, Cedric Alexander reversed and got the advantage for himself. Alexander sent Noam Dar to the outside with a clothesline and then did a corkscrew plancher to the outside. After a kick to the head, he did another massive dive drop kick from the top rope to the outside. Dar managed to reverse after that, hit a dropkick and then threw Cedric Alexander back in the ring before locking on a leg lock. And he held on to it for a while, but once again Cedric Alexander did not tap out. Instead he kicked Dar away. Dar stayed in control though, hitting a knee breaker. He went for his finishing kick, but Cedric Alexander moved out of the way and nailed him with a half Nelson suplex and a big spinny suplex thing. He followed that up with an even bigger elbow drop off the top rope and finished it all off with the lumbar check. Cedric Alexander went for the pin, 1, 2, 3. Noam Dar didn't kick out, and they didn't really use that Extreme Rules stipulation, did they? After the match, Cedric Alexander celebrated. Noam Dar went for an attack after the match, but Alexander ducked and instead punched Noam Dar so many times that he eventually fell out the ring. In the second match of the evening, the superstar that is Hideo Itami came out for action to face off against TJP, who, of course, is currently feuding with Gran Metalik, and don't worry, we'll come to him. After an early cheap shot, TJP had the advantage, nailing Itami with a neckbreaker, and before he could do much else, out came Gran Metalik. As we know, they're feuding, and, well, Gran Metalik hit him with a Michinoku driver, and the match ended as a DQ. After the match, for some reason, Hideo Itami shook hands with Gran Metalik despite the DQ loss. As 205 Live is a minor show, we were already on our main event, which was a tag team contest, which featured Akira Tozawa, the #1 contender for the Cruiserweight title, teaming with the Cruiserweight champion Neville as they faced off against the Lucha Dragons, Kalisto and Sin Cara. Tozawa and Kalisto started things off, and it began with Kalisto hitting a Hurricane Runner and a suplex followed by Code Red. Kalisto then nailed Tozawa with the dirtiest suplex ever, but Tozawa just got up because he's Japanese and they take headshots like a beast. Akira Tozawa went for the tag, but Neville dropped off the apron and he instead had to face off the brunt of Sin Cara's offense, including a double underhook backbreaker and a Spanish fly. But the #1 contender took it all in his stride and ended up hitting Sin Cara with a huge brainbuster. He followed that up with snake eyes, and, well, Neville was obviously getting frustrated by this as he put some steel steps in the ring, and after Tozawa hit Sin Cara with a back suplex, Neville nailed Tozawa with those steel steps, and instead of the referee just ending it there and then, he let Kalisto hit the Selena del Sol and get the pinfall win over Tozawa, and Neville just walked off and didn't care. With the Lucha Dragons dancing, that's it for another edition of What Happened on My Universe mode. SmackDown next, like and subscribe.